This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Okay, what's your answer to her lawsuit? She took care of your baby. Mm-hmm. She wants you to pay.
Right.
And your answer is?
This is the plaintiff, Millicent Burke Calhoun. She says she cared for the defendant's 2-year-old daughter at her daycare center, and the woman owes her money. She tries to make a difference in the children's lives she cares for, but still needs to be paid for what she does. Besides, she has 3 people working for her, and they need to be paid too. She's suing for $600, the amount owed. This is the defendant, Zakiya Johnson. She says she was only working part-time and qualified for a program that paid for daycare service. All she had to pay was $15 a day for a co-payment, which she did in full. She doesn't know what kind of system is in place with the state to receive the balance of the plaintiff's fee, but if she wasn't paid in full, she should go after them, not her. She's accused of dodging a daycare bill.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been affirmed, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Millicent Burke Calhoun.
Yes.
Loving Care Group Family Daycare. You are suing Zakiya Johnson. Zakiya. For $600 for child care services the month of May because you did not receive payment. Tell me what's going on.
Yes. Good morning, Judge Milian. Ms. Johnson came to me in October 11, 2012. Started taking care of her daughter, Naima, and ACS, the government agency, was paying for Naima.
Now, how would that work out?
I paid a portion of the bill.
What's the portion you paid?
It was $15 a week, but I paid monthly, $60 depending on...
So you would pay $15 a week, and how much was the daycare bill?
My bill, I didn't...
How much was the daycare bill for the week for the child?
It was $160 per week.
$160. So you would pay $15, and then the other $145 was paid by whom?
Right, by the agency, the state.
By the government?
Yeah, the state.
Okay, because you had applied for child care assistance. All right. So for all those months, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, when did we have a problem? May?
In May, yes.
And how did you first find out that there was a problem?
Well, on the attendance sheet, they put the start date and the end date. But then they sent another letter in April stating that they would pay up until the 5th of May.
Because?
I'm sorry, until the 10th of May.
Because?
At that point,
because what? Let me see that other letter.
Okay. They say that they would stop because she didn't qualify. She needed to put some more hours in. Here.
Are good?
Thank you.
Because she wasn't working enough hours?
Enough hours to qualify for that particular
So this is a letter that you got, notice of intent to change child care benefits. Payment will not be provided because of insufficient hours of employment. You have to be employed a minimum of 20 hours per week in order to get daycare. That's not an unreasonable request. What happened?
Right, Your Honor. So in April That's when the recertification date was. I sent in some pay stubs that were processed incorrectly on behalf of that agency. And when I called them to let them know that the information that they received was incorrect because I, in fact, was working part-time, they told me that there was a number I could call to have my daycare unchanged, meaning they would still provide payment. So I called the number that they gave me, and I received a letter, April 25th, where it states that the commissioner directed the state to continue paying Ms. Burke.
Let me see that letter. Now, you went and you got some records, did you, from the department?
When I talked to Ms. Johnson over the phone, and she assured me that everything was okay. And they would, when they sent me each month.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
This doesn't say what you said.
It does at the bottom.
Oh, what this did was it stops the change and gives you a chance to have a hearing.
Right.
And so, in a sense, it does say what you said because it says, okay, things are going to be the same. And then?
Okay. I talked to her on the phone, and she assured me that everything was okay. And it said when I received May attendance sheet, Naima's name was not on it. For you to get
And all this is happening in April, okay?
No, this is in May now. Because
right. Her stuff, what she just showed me, was from the end of April.
Yes.
And then now here comes May, which is later than April.
Right.
And in May, you get the attendance sheet, and the attendance sheet does not have her daughter's name on it.
So she assured me that everything was okay. She went to a fair hearing, and everything was fine. They promised to send her.
Wait, by then, when was your fair hearing?
No, I still do not have a fair hearing in place.
So exactly what are you going to do, or what's the government going to do, or what's happening with your benefits if you don't have a hearing? Are you working 20 hours a week? Because that's not a lot to ask. Are you working 20 hours a week?
I currently work full-time.
Okay, and so do you qualify for the daycare?
I still do, yes.
Okay, so now what I'd like to know is, there are some documents here. Are you the one who provided them to me?
Yes.
Okay, hand me your copy of those documents. So let me just ask you, the bottom line is you did not get paid for May.
No.
And you pulled your daughter out.
Right, Your Honor. So
when did you pull your daughter out?
June 5th was her last day.
And why?
Because Ms. Burke called me June 5th.
And said, I can't take care of her, you're not paying.
She said she's not on the attendance list. However, I did sign the attendance list for the month of May.
Can you please hand those documents to Douglas? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I signed the attendance sheet for the whole month.
Yeah, I know, I understand. But bottom line is, there's 1 month that you had her take care of your baby.
Right.
That apparently there's a problem with the state payment.
Right.
So have you gone in to talk to them so that she could get paid?
Yes, I have. And
what happened?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is there such a thing as a professional victim?
Yes, definitely. My best friend is one.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. Yeah, she claims everything from, oh, you don't want to buy me something. She gets all sad.
You realize she could see this, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Hi.
Professional victim, is there such a thing?
Absolutely. I think there is. There's one over there, and one over there.
Yeah, I mean, are there people who just go through life always deflect? Why do they do it? Why does somebody always blame somebody else?
They're probably just trying to get something from other people, have people kind of ride on their coat.
Or they don't want to accept responsibility for what they do, going inside the courtroom.
Did they tell you they paid her?
Actually, the last phone call I made was today. Prior to that, 3 weeks ago, it's in the system. They said that the agency was redirected 2 times to pay Mrs. Burke.
Okay, so then it shouldn't be a problem. At some point, you're going to get. But why is this? Okay, what's your answer to her lawsuit? She took care of your baby. Mm-hmm. She wants you to pay.
Right.
And your answer is?
I never had a problem with that because I was so trusting.
But you didn't pay, because you did have a problem with that because you didn't pay her.
No.
She asked you to pay her. She gave you a reduced rate, and now there's a lawsuit, and now my day is taken up.
No.
So you did have a problem with it because you didn't pay her. So what is your answer? That she should go to the state?
No, that was never my answer. That was the last resort. Because I was so trusting of Ms. Burke, I believed at one point that I did owe her the money. So
okay, wait, I'm sorry. No one paid Miss Burke the month of May.
Right.
You had her take care of your baby for the month of May.
Right.
Not one day, the whole month of May.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your defense? She's suing you to pay her for the month of May.
Right. Now, I reached out to Ms. Burke. There was one day in June where I reached out to her and I said, Mrs. Burke, can you please provide me with my receipts from the month of September up until the month of May?
Yeah, but no one cares. That is not what the issue is. I mean, if you didn't get receipts, you didn't get receipts. That's a separate issue. But what is going on with the month of May?
Okay, yes. So this was the end of May when I was notified that she was not on the attendance list. So then I reached out to Ms. Burke and I asked her for those receipts so that she could be reimbursed.
Stop a second, though. It wasn't the end of May that she was notified. You told her in April that she wasn't on the May list, and that's why in April she's giving you the paperwork. Okay, she also wasn't on the June list, and she wasn't going to eat another month. My question to you is simple, simple, simple. Your baby was taken care of by her, and your response to her is you don't have to pay because what?
That wasn't my response.
But you're not saying a response. What is your response to the lawsuit against you?
I asked Ms. Burke to provide me with those documents so I can go down.
It itches me here, but you're scratching me here. You are telling me now about a different, new, and improved problem that you have with her because she didn't give you receipts for $15 for all those other... That is not... I don't care. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this right now. What is your response to the lawsuit? That what?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Just what's your response? It's not complicated. I'm not trying to trick you. What's your response to the lawsuit?
I told Ms. Burke that I wanted to go down and so that she could be reimbursed for that month of the month of May.
Is that what you told her?
Yes, I have it in text messages.
Show me your text.
Okay. I have here where I told her that the agency was responsible. The letter, I told her the letter clearly states that she is responsible. The agency is responsible for paying her. And so in order for her to be reimbursed, I need those receipts so that they can see that I too did pay my portion.
No, you don't need that for her to be reimbursed.
Right,
all you need is proof that she took care of your baby in May. That's stuff that you wanted.
I asked for that also,
Send a pen to paper. What are these, copies of the text you sent?
Yes, and I did.
Can you let go? Thank you. Okay.
And I did, and I also told Ms. Burke that in order for her to be reimbursed, I needed that attendance sheet for the month of May, and she never gave that to me. She was uncooperative. She said I will receive my receipts when she gets paid for the month of May. I told her the agency was responsible for paying her. Before that, I did reach out to Ms. Burke out of good faith.
Let me tell you exactly what you told her.
Okay.
The agency's liable, so I need my proof of payments from you so that you could be reimbursed along with the attendance I signed for May. She then responds, it's now almost July. Please pay me for May, and then you and ACS can battle it out when you receive a receipt. When you will receive a receipt when I receive May's payment from you. Give Naima my love. I need my receipt. Thanks. Things aren't adding up. Sorry. A receipt should be provided for every payment as a professional. I have no claim without receipts. That's just not true. As I asked in January and never received. Once again, I cannot conduct business in this illegitimate manner. This conversation cannot continue if we are not on the same page. Take it up with the agency. No, not take it up with the agency. This is out of my hands. No issues. Just wanted to make sure you receive your money from the agency. Okay, let me explain something to you that you apparently aren't picking up. The agency is liable. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The agency's not liable. You know who's liable? You're liable. Because that's your baby. And you had somebody take care of your baby. You have a benefit. The state is generous enough to give you the money it takes from everybody else and the taxes, okay, to help you pay for child care, to help you get on your way. It is your responsibility to make sure you get your benefit.
Right.
So if the state can't get their act together and get it, then you need to go there and plant your hiney right in front of that social worker and get the whole thing straightened out. But if you're too busy to do that, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Then you don't get a benefit for May. But let me tell you who doesn't eat your benefit for May. Her. She doesn't eat it. It's your problem to figure out. So sit down and figure it out. I see what you're saying. That, you know, that's great. Now, guess what? The state is really bad at this kind of thing. Okay? Government is really bad at handling our personal lives. But if that's what you're gonna do, if that's the social construct that's in your life, then yeah, you gotta play by their rules. And that means you gotta sit there and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do, which means you gotta sit down there, you gotta spend hours and hours figuring it out. You know who doesn't have to spend hours and hours figuring it out? She doesn't. Because in the end, she provided your child a service and she needs to get paid. So I feel for you because I know this is going to be really complicated for you to achieve, but it's your complication, not hers. I find in favor of the plaintiff and the amount of the lawsuit, which is the $600 verdict for the plaintiff.
Correct. Thank you.
So we said, is there such a thing as a professional victim? Guess what? The defendant is one. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This is the plaintiff, Clifton Cuthbertson. He says he was involved in an accident with a police car. The cop had an attitude and ordered the defendant to tow his car against his will. The defendant broke his steering column trying to get the transmission into neutral. And now he has $2,723.61 in damages. And the defendant needs to pay. This is the defendant, Edward. He says the plaintiff became belligerent and tried to block the tow of his car by locking the doors. He told him the cop ordered him to tow the car and he had to unhook the transmission linkage to get the car out of park. Once the plaintiff came to retrieve the car, he rehooked the transmission linkage and drove off. Now he's suing? For what? He's accused of twerking a tranny.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says he was in an accident with a cop car, and the defendant towed the car away and damaged it. But the defendant says he was ordered by the cop to do exactly what he did. It's the case of cop with a bad tow.
Clifton Cuthbertson, you were, say it again?
Cuthbertson.
Cuthbertson, I thought that's what I said. Clifton Cuthbertson, you are suing Consumer Collision Center, represented here by Edward.
Yes.
Okay. For $2,723.61 in repairs that you say you are now going to have to undergo because, according to you, they negligently towed your car. Tell me what happened.
On August the 3rd, approximately in the Bronx, somewhere about Fordham Road, my car accelerated due to a cable that was stuck in front of the acceleration cable. So as I pressed down on the gas, it stuck it, and then the car just lifted off by itself. I stopped. I slid 35 feet into an unmarked police car that was going. It didn't stop.
Oh, wow, that's some unfortunate luck right there.
Yeah, talk about it. Well, make a long story short, they
Who was in the car with you?
I was in there, my 3-year-old son, my girlfriend, and my best friend. We were just coming back from taking my son to the park.
Okay.
And I'll make a long story short from there. The officer got out of his car with his gun on his hand on his gun, ran around to my side as I was getting out, trying to make sure that they were all right. He started patting me down. I said, it was an accident. What are you patting me down for? There was no reason for that. Oh, shut up and get against the car. So he patted me down, realized I didn't have anything on me. Then they called, I guess, backup or whoever, their captain. They came over.
Was he off duty or in an unmarked car on duty?
He was in an unmarked car on duty.
And was he parked or was he driving?
He was at a stop sign. He started to go through the stop sign because I seen his tail lights go off, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Like he stopped again, the lights came on.
You hit him from behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he hopped out, like I said, and then he called back up. Next thing I know, there were like 10 cars there, and I'm asking him, I'm like, well, what's going on? At the very last minute, and when I mean by last minute, I mean as when he says your cars are getting ready to get towed, the tow truck was already at the stop sign. So he didn't tell me nothing about the car being towed until that point. Now, when
There's probably a good reason for that, because you probably went nuts.
Exactly.
Right, and in fact, so nuts that you ended up actually getting arrested.
Actually, they arrested me for basically nothing. The car was already jacked in the air.
Wait, tell me about it. So the tow truck company comes and you tell them it's drivable. How did you know it was drivable?
Because before the tow truck came, I actually got in the car, put it in reverse, backed it up into a parking spot to show the officer, look, my car is drivable. It was just a wire. I moved the wire. The car is fine. Right,
but that's the same car that had a problem where the wire got stuck and you ended up crashing into somebody. And if you could fix it so easily, I mean, in other words, you understand. I know you felt like they should have let you drive away with the car, but can you see the other side of that one, where you're telling them the reason that you didn't brake is because a wire got stuck? Oh, no worries, I took care of it. But just think about the lawsuit that the police department would have in their hands if they let you drive that car home and you end up running over some child and killing them because, oh, the wire got there again. All right, so it ends up, what happens when the tow company hooks up your car? You're the tow company. Who's the actual tower? The guy who was out there towing. All right, go ahead. Come on up closer to the microphone. Go ahead.
He's on this side of the car doing something underneath, and I'm mad, like, what is he doing? So I go around to the other side of the car, and I lay down on the floor, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm taking off your linkage,
Why did he have to take off your linkage?
Because I refused to give the key, because... Okay. Like I said, and it was, I didn't mean
you refused to give the key, and then you locked the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like I said, once I get underneath, not even under the key, once I lay next to the car and I peek my head under
What are you laying down next to the car for? To stop them from moving it?
No, not stopping it from moving it, because it was already jacked in the air. If I was going to do that, I would have stayed in the car and not gotten out.
Right.
And locked the door.
Okay.
So I laid down to ask him, what are you doing? He says, oh, I'm taking your linkage off. Next thing I know, they're dragging me from back, basically out into the middle of the street by my pants, and then cuffing me and putting me in the car.
Wow. All right, you were present?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, from the time you got there, tell me about the interaction between him and the police officer. I'm kind of curious.
Oh, he was really upset and giving the officers a hard time. So.
Why'd they arrest him, though?
They arrested him because he went under the car. When I was under the car, he came under the car with me. So.
And did what?
I don't know what he was doing. He just came under the car.
He crawled under the car?
Crawled under the car, yes.
But what did he do when he got there? Like, oh, come on, I really want this picture painted for me. What did he do when he got there?
He just get under the car right beside me and
what did he say to you?
The officer asked him what he's doing. He said he's looking.
Okay, and that's it? That's why they arrested him? Did you think the officer should arrest him? It's just between you and me.
Well,
I don't know.
Not for me to say, but
okay.
They did arrest
So
him.
you tow the car. Tell me about the linkage that you removed. What's that about?
It's a transmission. Because he unwilling to give up his key, then we had to tow the car. So we had to unhook the cable that worked the transmission.
Okay.
So.
Is this something that's done? How often is this done?
Yeah, it's done all the time. It's done all the time.
How many times have you done it?
Hundreds of times.
Okay. And so you unhook the cable, and then what?
And get it in neutral, so at that point it can be towed.
Okay. And you towed the car. He comes to pick up the car, and he has to pay how much? Does he pick it up the same day?
No, I think it's 3 days later he picked it up, I think.
You who were so anxious to have your car, how come you waited 3 days to pick up your car?
Because I was incarcerated.
Oh, jeez. How long were you incarcerated? I know they arrested you. I kind of assumed that it was going to be some relatively Mickey Mouse charge that you got out on right away. That didn't happen?
Not down at 161st.
Oh, my goodness. So you were come on up.
I was in for 2 days.
Why did you take him out of jail? Why was he in jail 3 days?
I actually had to speak to his lawyer to let her know what was going on. And she said, okay, just, be calm. I'll fix it. And
what ended up happening with the case?
It's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing.
Because I'm refusing not to just cop out to disorderly conduct. I felt like I was just wrongly railroaded for no reason. Because I hit an unmarked police car. The boys in blue stick together.
I mean, because there's nothing wrong with boys in blue sticking together. It would just be nice if you didn't get arrested just because you didn't want your car towed. It's kind of, there's either more to the story that I'm not hearing, which could certainly be the case, or you are right not to cop. Right. Not to cop out to anything. Right.
And I have an actual video from my best friend. He actually recorded the officer signing his name on the tow slip. Because I refused because I didn't feel like I didn't have to. There was no reason for my tow to get caught. I actually asked the officer, and my lawyer asked the officer on the scene if I could leave the car there and call somebody that I know and trust to tow my car from there back to my house. And
all right, so he picks up the car 2 days later, and how much does he pay was my question.
He paid $247.
$247. Okay, now, according to you, you pick up the car, and when do you first spot a problem?
When I picked up the car, first off, I had to wait an hour and a half for someone to come around to put the linkage back on. Then the guy says, well, I don't know how to get to the linkage, so he takes it from the tow yard, goes back in front of the office, and he has to get a paper clip. He takes it and he puts the screw on by hand, doesn't tighten it. Then he takes a paper clip because there's a retainer clip that goes along with that. He takes the paper clip and sticks it in where the retainer clip goes and says, oh, it'll hold, just enough for you to get home. The heavy-set gentleman in the middle is the guy that I saw and basically complained to him when I realized that these problems were in my car. He says, oh, really?
What problems did you complain about?
The doors being open, the lower vent.
What do you mean the doors being open?
I locked the doors.
You mean unlocked, not open?
No, they were open too.
I'm sorry, they drive up the car to you with doors flapping?
No,
open?
the doors were closed, but they weren't closed all the way.
Yeah, but one of them wasn't closed because that's where you hit the car.
No, the door's closed fine.
Do you have pictures of your car?
Yes, I do. These are from the tow yard. These are from the steering column. And this is from where he writ on a linkage where it was supposed to be put back together. And they act like
your lawsuit is for two things, according to the original lawsuit that you filed: damage to the shift linkage and interior of car. What was the damage to the interior of car?
The steering column is completely cracked in half. And the steering, where it's cracked in half, is basically where you shift it. Because mine have a floor shifter.
You think they did that?
Of course, because they had to forcefully put it in neutral.
He's complaining about a crack to the steering column. Does someone want to address that?
The car was locked. We were never inside the car, Your Honor. As he said earlier, he locked the car. He wouldn't give us entry. That's why we had to drop the linkage and put the car in neutral. We never had keys for the car. When he picked up the car,
how is it that they would be able to have your car unlocked and open and go inside and crack your steering column for spite? Because at that point the car was
actually.
I'm in the middle of my question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because at that point the car was already on the lot. How would they have access to do the kind of damage that you're claiming they did when you locked the car and didn't let them in? Which is why they had to remove the linkage to begin with.
Okay, the damage was done to the linkage in the steering column at the same time, whereas he's forcefully trying to put it in neutral from underneath the car. And
okay, now I know you're an expert because you're the guy who diagnosed the wire under the. But do you have any expert testimony to say the things you're saying right now?
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
it's on this because they're telling me this is from
Okay, so when you pick up the car, according to you, you see the crack there, and what else?
The crack, well, first thing first, because I had to walk up to the car, I saw my doors were open, and there's pictures of it on the lift while it's still jacked up in the air. Yes, you have everything right there.
Now, it's on the lift. This is when they're bringing it to you?
Yes.
And, but this door is damaged. How do you know that door could, you're saying, oh, look, Judge, they had my doors open, but how do I know that's not from the accident?
No, the accident is in the front right corner. The only
what's going on with this? What's that?
No, that's stuff that before.
What year is this car?
It's an 81.
81 what?
Chevy Camaro.
You gotta put some love into this car, man. It's an 81 Camaro.
Yeah,
what the hell's wrong with you?
Everything I can. That car was supposed to be for my son when he gets to high school. So I'm taking my time and doing everything the right way.
Nice.
And this is why I took the picture, because
you find me a 78 Camaro and I got me some memories.
Well, actually, the 78 and the 81 are basically the same year.
I know.
Yeah. And you can't.
Wait, hold on. I got to come back. All right. Typically speaking, what people will do is bring me something from the expert that says that the tow caused it. And I don't see that here. You just asked for a quote on what it would cost to replace your shifter linkage.
Right.
All right. Now, you tell me why it is that you guys, who were the last one messing with the shifter linkage, wouldn't be the ones who had caused it.
Simple right here, Your Honor. Here's a diagram of all the linkage, what we disconnected, the clip that we take off, and the clip that we put back on.
Tell me about it.
You take, it's like a paper clip. You take it off, you take a pair of pliers, you manually put the transmission from park to neutral. You never touch nothing inside of the car. You're bypassing the whole inside of the car now. You're never near the shifter, no nothing. You're working straight from the transmission. You're going from park to neutral, you're towing the car. When you're finished, you put the car back in park, You put the rod back on, you put the clip back in place. That's it, you're done. And here's diagrams to show that.
So, I mean, in other words, your implication is that no one could ever ruin it by doing that, I guess. Do you have anything from anyone saying, hey, this got ripped, or this got, saying something that would indicate to me that it was during the tow?
Oh.
You know, all it says is this is what it cost to buy a new one. Okay, that's interesting. I could pick up a phone and call somebody and say this is what it costed. It doesn't say the part you need, which is that it's their fault.
Well, she was there when I picked the car up. She was there when they took the car. And basically when I took it to the shop to get the estimate done for the body work, he put it on the lift.
Who'd you talk to over there?
The owner.
What's his name?
It's on the slip.
I don't see it on the slip. So you tell me who and what. Are you saying that they said it was the tow's fault?
Yes.
Were you there?
Yes.
And did they say that?
Yes, they did.
Good. Give me the name of the person who said that.
The same person that wrote this estimate is the same person that told me this.
That what? That it was during the tow?
That it was during the tow.
Because they didn't put it on that paper. You know that, right?
Right.
All right, court's in recess.
All right. So if the cop orders the defendant to tow it a certain way, and that caused the damage, is the defendant responsible?
Well, you know, he could have a case against both the tow company and the city.
Well, yeah, but my question is the tow company on the hook if the cop ordered him to do it?
Well, if the officer ordered it, then, like I say, the litigation now could be against the...
Okay, I get it, but could the tow truck, is the tow truck company also responsible?
I say they're both responsible, and they should both,
The tow truck guy's saying, I just did what I was ordered.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's his fault.
It's the defendant's fault?
Yeah.
Huh, going inside the courtroom.
Hi, I had a very interesting conversation with the owner of King's Auto Experts Incorporated, Joe, who was a peach, and was very tolerant of my complete and total lack of knowledge of cars and this method of solving the issue you guys had out there and towing it that way. So I spent a great deal of time asking him questions, and he says you guys did it wrong. He says you guys did it wrong. He says that it wasn't in, and I didn't expect that. I fully expected to be able to, clear my head and have him say, all right, if I thought that, I'd have written that, which is usually what happens. When I go the extra mile to get to the bottom of things, they'll say, well, no, that's a guess, but I'm not willing to say that. He goes, listen, he says that the linkage was broken, the aluminum part that goes into the transmission, that things weren't fully released, and that this is not an optimal way of doing this. But he says that it is absolutely his opinion that it was during the tow. Now, what he doesn't agree with you on is this stuff about your steering column. Nice try, throwing that in there. He does not say that he ever told you that the steering column got cracked because of something that was going on underneath, the car. He says that's absurd. I never told him that, and that's not it. And he wanted to get the steering column fixed, but that has nothing to do with the tow, which means to me that your steering column was cracked beforehand, that you're trying to throw it in here, which makes me very, very sad.
No, ma'am.
Because I really wanted to see you as the little guy getting the short end of the stick, and now you're just another person trying to take advantage of things. So as for the steering column, you're not going to get a penny out of that. But as for the damages to the linkage, I'm going to, in fact, find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $1,674. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Hold on, please.
So here come the tow guys on the wrong end of this one here. Step right over here. The judge says both parties were a little bit. Here, come on in. Come on in. Judge says you did it wrong, and so did that guy on the phone.
Well, that's the judge's opinion, and
well, she got it from him. He's the expert.
No, we're the experts. That's his opinion. We have documentation of how it's done.
You said you pull the cotter pin, take out the rod, and then you, maybe you didn't,
No, there's only one way to, and we did it correctly. But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
And that's what they did.
All right. Okay, you just head right around the corner here,
Thanks.
sign your documents on the way out, and, okay, so you tried to sneak a little extra in there, or so says the judge?
Actually, I didn't. I didn't notice it until I picked the car up.
So you satisfied with what you come out of here with? At least you were able to prove that they did damage your car by towing it incorrectly.
Absolutely.
Good enough for you?
It's good enough for I have to do.
Okay. Harvey.
By the way, tow truck companies are usually licensed by either the city or the state. And before going to court, you might call the licensing agency, see if you can put some pressure on the tow truck company to do the right thing if they were doing the wrong thing. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hey, the vibes are slipping. I think it's time to bring out the Velveeta shells and cheese. The holidays are a time to go all in on indulgence. Headline your meals with the rich, creamy meltiness of Velveeta shells and cheese and satisfy your holiday cravings like no other. Bring that main course energy to your side dish. Celebrate extra with Velveeta these holidays.
This is the plaintiff, Jeffrey Maysell. He says he agreed to buy a car from the defendant, gave him a deposit, and then went to the bank to get financing. Unfortunately, the bank turned him down, so the defendant offered his bank. That bank also rejected his loan application. And when he asked for a refund of his deposit, all he got was a big no. That's not fair. So he's suing the sneaky car salesman for the return of the $500 he gave him. This is the defendant, Jonathan Caviola. He says the plaintiff kept telling him he'd find a way to get the money after the banks rejected his loan applications. 7 weeks later, the guy calls him and tells him he still didn't have the money, but please hold on to the car because he'll get the money. 8 weeks later, he finally gave up on the guy because it was almost winter and he sold the car to someone else so he wouldn't take an even bigger loss. Now the guy's suing him for his deposit? Come on, man. He's accused of not waiting forever. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,000 for money lost on the sale of the car.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff made a deal to buy a car from the defendant, couldn't get financing, now wants his money back. But the defendant says it's the plaintiff's problem. It's the case of don't bank on me.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Jeffrey Maysell, you are suing Greenwich Motor Sales, represented here by the owner, Jonathan Caviola?
Correct.
Okay, for $500 of a deposit that you placed on a vehicle that you did not end up buying. You have a counterclaim against him for $3,000 for the difference in price that, according to you, you had to take as a result of him not buying the vehicle. All right, what happened?
Last August, I went to look at a car. I was looking to trade in my 2002 car, and they had a 2008 car that I was interested in trading it in for.
Right, what kind of car?
It was a BMW.
Uh-huh.
And my wife was 8 months pregnant at the time, so she said, you've got
Okay, 8 months, not 11 months, right?
Correct.
That was a typo in there. Okay. I was like, that's uncomfortable. Okay, go on.
So I went down and test drove the car. I liked it, and I came, we talked at the dealership, and they said that they didn't offer financing, so I'd have to do it through a third party. And I said I was interested in the car, and they said, well, you should put a deposit down and talk to our finance guy. So I applied for financing through Bank of America.
Did you put a deposit down?
I did. I put a deposit down.
And is there any paperwork regarding your deposit?
There wasn't. It was
Okay.
it was a debit card, so they swiped it, and that was all that was done.
And what was your understanding of what the deposit was for?
To see if I could get financing, and if I could purchase the car, and if not, then...
Well, what does that do for them? I mean, isn't the purpose of the deposit to hold the car so they don't sell it to someone else while you're trying to get financing?
Well, they told me that they would recommend that that's what I do, and it was a refundable deposit. If I couldn't get financing,
Who
I
said
got
it was
back.
refundable?
The defendants did.
Watch this. Did you tell them it was refundable?
I don't really recollect. It's over a year.
Do you
But
ever
our
tell your
policy
clients that it's refundable, though?
Sometimes I do, but I've never, ever kept a deposit in 45 years in business. If he asked for a deposit back, he would have got it.
So why am I here? He asked
Well,
for his deposit back.
No, he
He's suing
never
you.
asked for his deposit back.
Oh, you mean he waited too long?
Well, he waited at least 3 weeks. I turned down a solid deal on it. After my bank rejected him, he went on his own. And then he called back and he said he was having problems. He was still pursuing it. And then he called back maybe 2.5 months after that And then I never heard from him again until...
He called back 2.5 months after that to say what?
After the initial deposit.
To say what?
He's still working on it.
Okay.
And then I never heard from him again until August when he emailed me.
A year later.
A year later.
So if the plaintiff couldn't get financing, does he get his deposit back? Does he get his deposit back if he could?
I think he should get his money back because he was putting it down on to buy something and he didn't get that product. So he should.
Okay, but is that really the car dealer's fault? I mean, if he gets the money, it's like your problem, right?
Yeah, tactically, I think they shouldn't get it back. It's unfair.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Apparently, for just the way you do business is if people ask for their deposit back, you give it to them.
Absolutely.
But in this case, you don't.
It's a little bit unusual, I think. And I did lose a bona fide deal on the car, and I had to hold the car another 6 months.
Okay. But how do I know you didn't tell him your deposit's refundable?
You don't. I mean, I don't.
So how do
It's been so long, I'll be honest with you. He might have said something at the beginning. If I don't get my financing, could I get it back? But I don't remember.
And you might have said yeah?
Maybe, yeah. I can't remember. It's over a year. But I would have given it back to him back then, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but the law doesn't let you change it because time passed. I mean,
No,
yeah,
but
you
even
should have
on
asked
our
for it sooner, but
on the retail,
you know,
order,
it's either refundable or it's not. That's what the law is. And my default position is it's non-refundable, but not after your testimony, because your testimony just now was I might have. And he's saying you did, and you're saying I always give it back, and I give all my. So maybe you did say it was refundable, and he's just a slack jaw and didn't get around to asking you for it fast enough. I don't know, but on testimony like that, how do I not return his deposit? That's a first. When I turned around and said, "Watch this," I expected you to say, "Hell no, Judge. Those deposits are never refundable because they're meant to hold the car, and they're meant for this and they're meant for that." Now you have a counterclaim against him for $3,000. What were you buying this BMW for?
$28,000.
Okay, and what did you end up selling it for?
I sold it for 28, but it wasn't. Do you have the original order?
Nobody
I have
does.
my loan application from that week.
Yeah, but that's with the trade-in.
You were giving me a trade of $5,000.
Wait, 28 plus the trade-in?
Minus the trade-in, so
28 minus 5, so 20.
my application was for 22 because I had given the 500 and I was going to pay another 500.
Okay, let me see all that. I mean, did you have a signed contract with them to purchase the car?
I did, but it's been so long. At the end of the year, we got rid of it.
Okay, that's good enough for you. It's good enough for me too. Okie doke. Based on what I've heard on the plaintiff's case for a refund of his deposit, I am going to order a refund of the deposit on the counterclaim 0. That's my judgment.
Okay. Guys, both sides, please. Hold on right there. And so just like that, the defendant finds himself out here in the hallway, step next to me on the losing end of this case. What's your reaction?
It is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's right, but that's what she ordered.
Why don't you think it's right?
I wait a whole year to tell me you can't, buy the car.
You realize your own testimony kind of sank you in there.
I'm not going to lie. I can't remember. It's a year ago. What'd you say yesterday? Huh? I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. All right. Head right down this way. All right. So, all right. You win your case. How'd this come out for you?
I think that the judge reached a right verdict on this.
Why did this have to come to court? He says he was willing to give it back to you.
Well, I contacted him via email. I made numerous phone calls. They weren't returned. The email that when I finally contacted him via email, he said he wasn't going to return it. So I figured I had to take it to the next level and file a suit.
Okay. What do you got, Harvey?
There's a principle in the law. The law abhors forfeitures, which means if there's any way to get money back, then the judge will do it. And in this case, look, the defendant even kind of admitted it. So bottom line, plaintiff gets his refund.